204. Cousin Nicky is here. We have some amazing people on the phone. Cousin Nicky, give us some background. First of all, we all know you're from Milwaukee.
I am.
I'm sorry.
Wow, Josh. So on the phone, we have Joe and Jordan from the Middle Ground, which is a band that was started in Milwaukee, and they moved to Nashville for recording, and we're going to talk to them.
So you guys on the phone, can you guys hear us okay?
We hear you loud and clear.
So we got Joe and Jordan, and Joe is the vocalist. You play keyboards, you play guitar. Jordan plays bass. How long have you guys been in Nashville for?
A little over 2 years.
And how have you found it? Like, what was there any sort of culture shock moving from Milwaukee to Nashville?
Not really. I mean, we kind of just came down here and didn't know anybody. We weren't planning on putting anything out too quickly, and just people. Literally, we had someone come up to us after they heard us play and was like, "Hey, be a part of our group. We'll introduce you to everyone we know." And I was just like, "Oh, okay." And right away, we got on this Music City Big Break contest and made it to the finals of that, and it was pretty nice.
Okay.
Everyone was super welcoming. It was great.
Yeah.
205 here on WTSQ. We're talking to Joe and Jordan from the Middle Ground. Cousin Nicky is here as well. That's just something, guys, that I hear a lot about Nashville, that it's a really, really friendly and supportive place for people coming in. You know, I've heard of some people just showing up with a guitar, moving to Nashville, and basically within a week finding a crew to play and to write with. So it seems like you guys have fallen on your feet down there.
Yeah. I mean, it is kind of like we just kind of moved on a whim. We were on the road for a couple of weeks, and a friend sent us a house that was available for rent, and we rented it unseen, drove down, didn't really know what we were pulling up to, and yeah, it went pretty smoothly. And I think everybody's kind of in the same boat, and the reason that they move here. So I think that everyone is more, I would say, more open to just kind of helping each other, because if one person makes it, you know.
Yeah, and everyone moving here has been in that position where you don't know anyone, and you're kind of afraid and don't know what it's going to be like, so they're always down to help people.
No, it's
our first night out, a couple of friends we met were like, "Hey, let's go check out some shows," and I think I got 4 people who were like, "Dude, give me your phone number. If you ever need anything, give me a call." And I was just like, that's so genuine and cool about that. So.
And this is why so many people from all over, you know, I know of a few people from the Brooklyn music scene that said the Nashville scene is so much more supportive. We're gonna go over there and try our luck there. Listen, you guys, we're the 2014 Wisconsin Area Music Industry Award. You won the Whammy Award for New Artist of the Year. How was that?
Yeah, it was cool. We didn't really expect it. I think, I love Milwaukee and I love the city. I don't necessarily know that the music scene there was as community feeling in terms of our, genre of music. One of the bands, we've really hit it off with there was Vinyl Theater, and I think we fall in the same realm of music. So going in, I think it was just cool to, get recognized for that, and, it's a place we're really proud to be from, so.
208 here on the afternoon show. Cousin Nicky's here, the Middle Grounder on the phone, Joe and Jordan. Guys, hold on, because we're going to play one of your songs. First of all, tell us about the song Let Go.
Let Go? That was from our first EP, and it's basically about, people kind of trying to tell you the way you're supposed to live your life and kind of going against the norm and just letting go of the people who are, warning you of all the downfalls of the kind of the career path we chose, I guess. So.
Okay, let's hear right now on WTSQ 88.1 FM. This is Let Go from the Middle Ground. And guys, hold on for us. WTSQ 88.1 FM from Nashville by way of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. That was the Middle Ground and Let Go. Cousin Nicky's here with me, Josh, and on the phone, Joe and Jordan from the Middle Ground are here. Okay, so you guys grew up in Wisconsin?
Yes, we did.
Now, when you're thirsty, when you're walking around the streets of Milwaukee at 4 o'clock in the morning, are you guys looking for a water fountain or a bubbler?
A bubbler.
That was the test, that they're actually from Milwaukee.
Obviously.
I did not believe you, Nicky.
Well,
Man, I got a case of Spotted Cow, and they just started brewing a new beer called the Bubbler.
I did not know that.
No, we need to get 5 cases of bubbler.
Fun fact, it's a Hefeweizen, and it's delightful.
What would people in Wisconsin know about beer anyway?
Yeah, I mean, we've never tasted the stuff before.
No. Nicky, these guys have done some pretty amazing shows.
Yeah, they have. So before we heard that song, you guys mentioned how you're friends with Vinyl Theater, and back in January you did an FM 1021 show at the Rave with Vinyl Theater and the Living Statues.
Mm-hmm.
And you've actually played Summerfest since then, which I was also at.
Where we saw you.
Yep.
Yeah.
So how has that been? Like, you won the Whammy, you've done Yellow Phone Music Conference, you did Red Gorilla Music Festival, you've played Summerfest multiple times. Like, how has that been with your, like, takeoff there?
I mean, I think it's really cool. The Vinyl Theater thing was so random of a story. We had, like, messaged them to play our CD release show before they got signed, and they told us that they couldn't do it because they were going on tour with 21 Pilots at the time, essentially, and we didn't know that they had gotten signed. And then kind of like invited them out to a few shows in between then, and we were playing a random show in Nashville, and they were down here co-writing, and they just happened to stumble into the bar we were playing. And we all hit it off because we played Lake Michigan, and they were from Milwaukee, and we all connected, hung out all weekend, and they liked our music and vice versa, and we just, that show like kind of fell into place that way through all hanging out. And then Summerfest was awesome. We've done it before, but we haven't been back to play too many Milwaukee shows other than the Rave and Summerfest. So it was cool to see that people were willing to come out, and the crowd that kind of gathered was really, really nice, because we still consider Milwaukee our home base and tell everybody that that's where we're from.
And now we Vinyl Theater all the time.
Yeah, we just name drop Vinyl Theater because they've been so nice to it. There's like no reason they had to like help us in any way, but they've been super, super cool to us. So.
But the power of Lake Michigan brought you guys together.
It did.
Yeah.
It did.
Guys, 217 on WTSQ. Cousin Nicky's here. Joe and Jordan from the Middle Ground are on the phone. Tell us about the song Lake Michigan.
Lake Michigan,
Tell your story.
basically, I like to be stressed a lot, not by choice. And I decided to go and vent about that stress by writing. Writing's kind of like one of the ways that I deal with it. And I drove, we used to live in Bayview, so I drove up to this parking lot that overlooks Lake Michigan, and I was like, I'm just going to write. Lake Michigan's such a cool therapeutic place. Like, I wonder if I'll come up with a song idea. And I always wanted to write a song called Lake Michigan, but I never could, like, kind of crack the puzzle. And I pulled up into the parking lot, and I was like, people are going to think I'm so weird because I'm sitting here writing in a notebook while everyone's outside at the beach and doing their thing. And then I found it kind of interesting that everybody was sitting in their car. There was a whole parking lot full of people just sitting in their car looking at the lake. So it gave me the idea that if Lake Michigan was a person, it would have all these crazy stories from the people kind of like venting and throwing their problems to it throughout the course of their life. And so that's kind of like the Lake Michigan, thank you for listening kind of concept to it.
And where did you record the song Lake Michigan?
So we recorded it, our old guitar player who now lives in L.A., Brandon, we recorded it at his studio, and then we had it mixed through Warner Brothers here in Nashville.
Okay, Nicky, we're going to play this, aren't we?
We are.
Okay, cue up the record. Right now on WTSQ 88.1 FM, the Middle Ground in Lake Michigan. On WTSQ 88.1 FM, the Middle Ground with Lake Michigan 223. Cousin Nicky's here. Joe and Jordan from the Middle Ground are on the phone. They are from Nashville by way of Milwaukee. Now, guys, you put out your own records.
Correct.
You don't really, unless a label is offering you a lot of money and a lot of tour support, you really don't need a label.
Yeah, correct.
And how has it been being, you are your own band? I know you have your management is Blue Stocking Agency, but how has it been, basically being your own label?
I think I think right now our goal is to get on like larger tours and grow our fan base, just because I think when you're ready to be taken on by a label, I think you need the leverage of a fan base to retain some of your creative control.
Of course.
And so I think right now we're just focused on building our fan base and stuff like that. But I mean, we've seen the perks of definitely being on a label, and we've seen some of the downsides of being on a label. And I mean, it'd be nice to have some money backing us every now and then. I think one of the things is we all work part-time jobs and do the music on top of that. So I think it just, not having a label means a lot more grind.
Oh, no, of course. It is, the music business is a business, and I don't think a lot of people understand that. Where else have you guys played outside of Wisconsin and Tennessee?
Oh, boy. Honestly, like, pretty much all of the East Coast, I feel like. Like West Virginia,
You guys have played West Virginia. Where have you played in West Virginia?
It was a college show. Was it Alderson Broda? Yeah.
What? I don't understand. Why didn't you guys call me?
I didn't know, man.
Don't make an excuse.
Was that the was that the Scary Drive one?
If it was, scary. That's West Virginia. Oh yes.
Yeah,
if it was a Scary Drive, it was West Virginia.
Our GPS decided. Oh, West Virginia Institute of Technology. Our GPS took us.
Well, there was like a bridge out or something.
There was a bridge out, so it took us on this detour that was essentially like the side of what felt like a cliff, and like we had to have two people outside the van at all times, making sure the wheels didn't slip off the edge of the road or get stuck in the mud. It was terrifying.
So you guys drove right by my house and you didn't call me?
I think it was like a 2-mile track, like pretty much up over the mountain hill, whatever it was, like forested area, and it took us about an hour, I think, to go 2 miles.
Yeah,
because we were scared of bottoming out and scared of hillbillies coming in out of the woods.
Now again, there's no need to bring my family into this, boys. West Virginia, I'm a relatively new driver, and it's 2:26. We're talking to Joe and Jordan from the Middle Ground. Cousin Nicky's here. I'm a relatively new driver, and there is nothing more terrifying than being, not a native to West Virginia and driving on these mountain roads in the middle of the night when the fog kicks in.
Yeah, it was pretty terrifying. It's like one of those stories that like we didn't tell our moms about for a little bit. They would have been like, "You need to come home."
Yes.
And even all grown adults, they would have still laid down the law, I think.
Well, next time you come to West Virginia, you're going to come to Charleston, and we'll give you, our very own Josh Bean or Kenny Lavender will give you a non-GPS route that'll probably scare the heck out of you, but it'll get you here safely.
We're down. Anytime.
Okay, Cousin Nicky, when did you first hear of the Middle Ground? Where did you first hear these guys?
Well, interestingly enough, this will show you how small the city of Milwaukee is.
Ooh.
So my band director for my senior year of high school was none other than Quentin Peterson, who has a connection to the Middle Ground.
Yeah.
I believe Jordan, right, was roommates with him at WLC?
Not roommates. His roommate, I played in the band with him in college, But so yeah, we were all. I sang in like choir with Quentin. So.
Okay. Well, either way. So I also did my freshman year of college at WLC. So
We heard that.
we all have that little connection, and I think it was 2014 or 2015 when I heard about you guys.
And you've been awesome to us ever since.
Yeah.
What was your first reaction, Nicky, when you first heard these guys? You're like, oh, they're from Milwaukee, whatever. And what did you think?
No, actually, okay, I was sharing a Spotify playlist I have of Milwaukee music. I shared that with Quentin, and he was like, hey, this is a good playlist, but you should add these guys. And so then I listened to their music, and I haven't stopped since.
Okay, guys, 2:29 on WTSQ. Cousin Nicky's here. Joe and Jordan from the Middle Ground are on the phone. Guys, what music have you been listening to lately, outside your own?
I'll let Jordan go first. I know if you don't say it, I'm going to punch your stomach.
There's a tune that's on the local radio station here. Amy Shark is an Australian artist, and her song Adore.
Right.
I think it kind of blew up this past year in the last couple months, and I love that song. I've had it on
You said Amy Shark?
Yep.
And then I feel like I've been listening. I'm a huge Andy Grammer fan, and there's a whole story that I don't even need to go down that way. But like, his new album's coming out, and I've been listening to that. We were big into the new Hippocampus album this year. Vinyl Theater album, obviously. The new Imagine Dragons album was cool. Yeah, so just Young the Giant, everything. Like, Judah and the Lion was cool. I just started listening to some Coin. We're all over the place.
Okay, let's play, Cousin Nicky, let's play Fantasy Rock Band now. If money wasn't an issue, if you got signed to EMI or Warner Brothers tomorrow, and they said, we have a $300,000 budget for your first album for the label, who would you pick as a producer?
I'd say that's not enough money.
I'd say we're going to the casino and we're putting that on red, double that.
Yes.
And then, who would we pick as a producer? That's a really good question, because that's what we're kind of talking. We're deep down the rabbit hole of some new music right now, and we had a list of about 60 songs, and we kind of narrowed it down, and now I feel like we finally got the sound we're looking for, and we've been talking about trying to meet with producers. I think it'd be cool.
I think Ryan Tedder would be sick to.
I would love to work with Ryan Tedder. I'm a big One Republic fan. I know there's obviously, I'm not going to know him by name, but I love like some of the Fanagram, and I think one big thing we're trying to do is incorporate a little more synth into new music, and some of I think Young the Giant did it really well on their new album. I think Fanagram does it really well. Those bands that, I think even like the new Coldplay album, I think the bands that are able to keep the fact that they're a four-piece rock band, but work that element in organically into the music, I think that's the vibe we're going for. But what we found, and right now, I think we're just looking for people in town that are passionate about our music. So I don't even think we need close to $300,000.
That's going to be the catering budget for the album.
I'll take sick food and a $10,000 budget, and I'll just hang out. I just want people that love what we're doing, that get excited about it, basically. So.
Well, if your fans are anything like our cousin Nicky, I'm sure you guys are going to do very, very, very well. We're going to let you guys go. We're going to play your song Good Love, but give out all of your social media information.
All right. We are on Instagram at We Are The Middle Ground. Facebook, just The Middle Ground. Twitter is Middle Ground MKE from Milwaukee, repping that hometown. And yeah, just make sure you put the because a lot of times people just think it's Middle Ground, and that's a completely different band.
Right.
And we are on Match.com at The Middle Ground. No, I'm just kidding.
What about Plenty of Fish?
Yeah, plenty of it. And find us on MySpace and Google Plus as well. Yeah, Spotify is the middle ground as well. So Spotify, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, iTunes, all that good stuff.
Guys, you're in Nashville. You're less than a day's drive from Charleston, West Virginia. Make it a point to get over here. And, depending on what kind of, pastries you bring us, we might treat you well.
Woo! We love it. Anytime, man. We'll look into it for sure. We're gonna try to do some new music stuff this winter, and hopefully we'll have some new stuff to tour around soon.
Joe, Jordan from the Middle Ground, you guys rock. Cousin Nicky, any last words before we go into Good Love?
Well, it's been really good talking to you guys again. Can't wait for new music and a tour.
Ooh.
And
We can't wait to see you.
hope to see you soon.
Sounds good. Thank you for having us.
Okay, at 2:33, here's the Middle Ground and Good Love. Thanks, guys.
Yep, thank you.